Right. So basically, Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are going at it again. Frank Warren believes that a fight between his WBO lightweight champion, Terry Flanagan, versus Eddie Hearn's Anthony Crolla should be a 50-50 split. The fight could be aired on Sky Sports box office. Well, first thing has to be asked is, why isn't Frank competing? He said he was going to start doing pay-per-view shows himself. He said that Eddie doesn't control Sky Sports box office. There was another department that actually hands out pay-per-view contracts, and he was going to get a piece of the action. So that's the first question. The other question is how Frank believes that Flanagan is worth as much as Anthony Crolla with the WBO belt. Who did Flanagan beat to get the belt? I mean, who has Flanagan really beat? We see Crolla take on his interim mandatory challenger and absolutely destroy him in a fight he was heavily favored to lose by large proportions of boxing media and fans. Anthony Crolla doing the A-side thing with fighters who shouldn't be using it. But Anthony Crolla, to me, is the main attraction in this fight. Even though it's a unification fight, I don't see Terry Flanagan coming in on even ground. Yes, he beat Nate Campbell, a very old Nate Campbell, but Crolla is definitely the main attraction. Number two, like Eddie Hearn said, it's not a pay-per-view fight yet. Frank was trying to be very slick there, and Eddie Hearn said it himself. Eddie Hearn has bigger priorities. Kell Brook on the 27th of August and Anthony Joshua in June, I believe. Yeah? So that's not a priority in terms of pay-per-view fights. Frank was being slick, saying, yeah, you put it on pay-per-view, Eddie, and like he said, make a whole load of money for one of his fighters and Frank himself. Eddie said Frank's in a tough position with Flanagan because Crolla is earning 3 to 4 times as much money as Flanagan is. And in a way, Flanagan does need Crolla. Frank Warren apparently offered $500,000 to Crolla for the fight, which seems like a fair amount to me, considering the level they're at. But obviously Crolla is making good dough. Crolla doesn't want the negotiations to drag out too long. He says he will pursue other options if it drags out. Linares is definitely an option, he said. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not that excited by the Flanagan and Crolla fight. I mean, I'd rather see Crolla fight Linares, to be honest. But if they do fight, it would be good, but maybe not as big as what Frank is saying. Maybe Flanagan could have a few more defenses, maybe. And maybe Crolla could have a few more. This could be a genuine case where the fight does need to be built up a little more. Maybe so. Maybe so.